When I take off the mask and I can be myself, I am a little bit more cranky, a little bit more of a in general. But this guy is way more kinder, and I think that's why this guy has more friends.
I am El Colt, the voice is loud, the accent is thick, and the hype is boiling under the skin.
The first time I watched some KOF, it was just around my junior high. I was a freshman there, it was my first year, 94 came out and people were storming around a little farmacia. This is a classical Mexican stuff. For some strange reason, the pharmacies in Mexico, like imagine your local CVS, imagine that, but with arcades. So many of us went to our little bodegas, las tienditas, to these farmacias, and they always had some arcades. I talked with an arcade owner. With the money you could get one Street Fighter machine, you could buy 4 KOF machines. So it was all over the place. And people in Mexico, we didn't have that much money to go and buy a console and buy our games, not even the high-end games like those. So we went to the arcades, we went to the shops at our corners, to the bodeguitas, las tienditas, and all that kind of stuff. For us, it was like a gathering place too. It was a very social experience, and many long-living friendships were born in those places. And that's why this game means so much to many people. For me, KOF means many things. Like I will start with our dream maker. Like I, as a commentator, always wanted to be part of Evo, part of this phenomenon, part of this culture. And KOF has been the bridge that brings me closer to this stuff. Of course, I also love many other fighting games, but KOF will always have that special place in my heart because it helped me to be part of a community in my country and all over the world who shares a passion for something that we were playing in the same way in a street in Japan, in a street in Pakistan, in a street of the US, and in the street of Mexico. We were all having a very similar experience of what's this game and bond us without us even knowing. So that experience of making this an universal language, of going to some place in Africa and they will know who Yori Yagami is and they will love him just as we do, it's so special. And of course, the evolution of the game has been there. For example, look at K-Dash and Rock Howard. They are like the archetype of what we believe cool things were in 2000 and in the 90s. And now you see a Shunei and he is like the way young people think cool things are. They have this special talent to see into what people like and trying to bring it into a fighting game. And the experimentation and the variety of characters that these games have are just fantastic. Add that to the music, the great visuals, the animations, and the passion behind their stories. What I always love about KOF characters, it was like, this is Yori Yagami. This is his favorite food. He loves to play in his band. He loves his girlfriend. Have you ever seen his girlfriend? No, but he loves his girlfriend. And that profile has been consistent for so many years. That attention to detail behind the characters of KOF, I think, has been a driving spot for me, and looking at them evolve and being presented in different ways.
And we are back. Let Los Angeles listen to the KOF familia.
I didn't land it the commentary side because of my competitive history. I landed it completely by accident. The first tournament I ever commentated was in the college where I was also working at the same time. They made a StarCraft 2 tournament. And I used to know and like StarCraft. And I had a college radio broadcast. The guys from the Students Association told me, hey, you know your stuff around the microphone? Do you know StarCraft? Do you want to come and commentate? And I was, oh, hell yeah. But I have been watching Evo content for 5 years already. And by the time they invited me to this, it was a mess. I was just saying terrible calls, but people were laughing because I was saying silly stuff. I already was wearing the mask because of the radio show. And by chance, a Street Fighter 4 player known as Chris Barrios, he was watching that tournament. And he contacted me by Twitter. He was like, hey, I saw what you did with StarCraft. Do you know fighting games? And fighting games were my stuff. And I didn't know by that time that Mexico had a competitive scene. So he invited me to commentate, and I came to this place known as La Friki Plaza, very close to the Mexican Zócalo. That's the main plaza of our country in Mexico City. And they were having a Street Fighter and Marvel tournament. we were having a blast, and they tell me, hey, do you want to jump into the commentary? And I was, hell yeah. And I commentated like 6 hours that day straight, both for Street Fighter and for Marvel. And it was like a click, and people began liking what I was doing, and they started to invite me to other places, to other tournaments, and one thing just led into another. It was just by accident, just by chance.
Where's like kind of the birth of El Colt, the character, the mask, and all that?
I had a college radio show about gaming. We talk about all stuff about gaming, from music to communities to gameplay reviews, that kind of stuff. But by that time, the Angry Video Game Nerd and many others were already standing out from that kind of review kind of stuff. And I was just a chubby guy saying silly things about video games. So I thought, hey, let's make something different. So I came up with the idea of joining that with my passion for Mexican wrestling, for La Lucha Libre. Contacted the original makers of the Lucha Libre mask, La Familia Martinez from Deportes Martinez. I told them, hey, I want to do my own personal mask. I sent my design and they turned it into reality and I started using it. But I made a compromise. Like, people tell me, hey, you never take your mask off. I will never take my mask off on camera because I want to pay respect to the culture of this thing. Like, I am not a great athlete. I am not even close to be a wrestler. But if I can pay homage to the culture behind the mask, I will give that compromise to never take off my mask because that's what the culture asks for you. So it's a little bit of dedication about my love for wrestling, for my love for Lucha Libre, and of course, trying to bond that with my passion for gaming and now fighting games too. When I wear this mask, I have this mission. I really want for the players to get a commentary that will be up to the level of their commitment to play for thousands of hours and dedicate to hone their own skills. So I try to be my best version for them. When I take off the mask and I can be myself, I am a little bit more cranky, a little bit more of an asshole in general. But this guy is way more kinder, and I think that's why this guy has more friends. Evo has been an objective for all of my career as a commentator. Even before I was commentating, I saw, that Evo trailer with the Inuyasha soundtrack. The first time I saw Moment 37 was in that trailer. And I was simply insane watching at what John Choi can do, watching at what Clockwork could do, those moments, everything around this universe. When I watched it for the first time, I just simply was blown out. Like, there is something like this. People is going to this kind of stuff. And then years passed, and I saw that this was coming back, right, for my life. Twitch or Justin TV was booming, and I realized that right there, it was the comeback of that video I saw so many times. And there was a tournament, it was live, and I was able to see it, and I remember it perfectly. It was the finals between Daigo and Justin Wong when he changed into Balrog. It was so insane, and I just decided that one day I'm gonna be there. I never imagined that my road will take me to be able to commentate alongside some of my heroes, but it has been simply a fantastic road. And arriving to this world and hearing to those people welcome you as part of the community is just fantastic. Fighting games are something so fantastic.